The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain, present, and I'm here with, let me see it. Are they here? Andreas Ruiz?
Yes, sir.
Present with,
Present,
I
there you
believe in myself, coaching, leadership, and greatness, and awesomeness, and
There you go.
wizardry.
I like that. I'll take that.
And thank you once again, brother, for joining me, my original co-host in the show. This show would not exist if it wasn't for you. I mean, really, as I've said over the years, a lot of the work I wouldn't exist if it wasn't for you, not only being a great friend, but being a good coach. We used to meet every single week, and you kind of helped me remind myself, okay, what are those goals? How do you get to the goals? Let's just talk through stuff. So
Yeah.
it's been such a blessing to have you as
Thanks,
a friend
man.
and
I
have you as
appreciate you.
a partner to help me do all this wild stuff that you never
Yeah.
questioned once, whether it was wild or not.
Yeah, for sure, man. You can't question it. You got to believe in it.
I believe. Yeah. Thank you, sir. But this, as you know, Andreas, this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if I did not give grace to a very loving God that makes it so all of us can be here. I usually thank him with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
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 So that being said, we got another Bud and show. It's kind of like a Bud hangout today is what
Yeah.
what it feels
That's what
like.
it feels like.
Yeah, because we have Jeremy Silverman with Hope Dealers Global here in studio, and I look forward to having you in studio every single time because I know I'm going to learn something new, and it's just like it gets richer and richer every single time we have the conversation. So that being said, let's just start off with like the Hope Dealers. It offers peace. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so one of the things, Hope Dealers, one of the reasons why I came up with this based upon my experiences and training and that was everybody's searching for peace in one way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter what it is. Everybody's looking for some form of peace.
Yep.
And, and so what we do is we take Hope Dealers and we show people what we have to offer when it comes to that. What's the definition of peace? I mean, a lot of, it's different for everybody. But what we do is we partner with a marketing firm that has 100% market space. There is no competition for what we do. It's too big. It's 32 years old in concept, and it's extremely difficult to duplicate. So it's very special, in particular. It's not the norm by any stretch. And so when we talk about offering peace, we show people how to save money and earn an income, both on the business side and also just as individuals, ordinary, everyday individuals. And everybody's got their own form of peace that they take out of it, whether it's financial, whether it's flexibility, time, the ability to help others, whatever that form is, there's always something good that comes out of it, in that aspect of things. And so really, this allows us, to help people every single day and what people are actually already doing. They just don't realize it.
Yeah, and I thought I was pondering on the last time I had you here in studio, and I was looking forward to have you in just so we can discuss it more, especially both me and Andreas being, fathers of, relatively big families. We're both business owners. We both have kind of like a lot of areas that this touches, but maybe break it down kind of sector by sector, how Hope Dealers can help someone like ourselves.
Sure. So here's what we found. We found that, where you're in life is primarily what you're going to produce, based upon your environment, your skills, those types of things. And what we had found is that there's a silent opportunity that everybody has as individuals and business owners that we're not even aware of. It's running around subconsciously. It exists. The fact is it's just never been exposed or explained. So one of the things that we do is we invite people to take a look at this concept. It takes about 15, 20 minutes. It's not very lengthy. It's not complicated or anything to that. In fact, it's extremely simple. But what we do is we show them this concept and this ability. And so for example, you could turn around and you can apply this to anybody.
Mm.
No one is discriminate. Nobody is excluded. I can apply this to any business, and I can apply this to any individual whatsoever.
And that application you speak of, let's just say, I run a nonprofit connecting homeless veterans to housing. What is the application of, using that to benefit my organization look like?
Sure. So what we would do is I would sit down and say, hey, let's look at where are your fixed costs. You're as a business owner, you're gonna have some form of operating cost. What I look at are operating costs that are essential. I'm not looking at things that are discretionary. I'm looking at things that you cannot operate without. So, for example, let's just take a simple concept of a cell phone. That's a perfect example. You're never going to pay it off, and you're always going to need it. The example I like to say is, if you left your cell phone at home, would you turn around and go back and get it?
Yeah.
Most people would not go get their kids if they left them at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends how old they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, depending on how old they are, and then maybe not.
Yeah.
But the whole so what we do is we take holistically. We say, look, you're paying $1,000 a month on your cell phone expenses. What if I can reduce that expense 30 to 50%, and then actually show you when you pay the bill how to take a commissionable revenue off of it? You're not sacrificing quality. You're getting value, but now you've become a player in the game. And the example I mean by that is, like, take Mint Mobile. We'll just use that as an example. Okay, it's endorsed by by movie stars and that. It's what's called a mobile virtual operating network.
Okay.
They buy blocks of data from the three big, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Well, we do the same exact thing. We just have what's called flash wireless.
Okay.
And so what we do is we negotiate with T-Mobile. We buy big blocks of data from them at a discounted price, and then we offer the savings to individuals that want to utilize that. We are actually we actually sell more, in some cases, service than some of our local providers like AT&T and that do. And in that space, because we have that kind of market exposure. But what does it do for you? Well, it reduces your costs. It gives you an opportunity to actually earn a commissionable revenue. And even with our particular Flash program, you can actually get your phone for free.
And it seems like with the offers that you guys have, it's not only it can serve a business community, but just the household.
Absolutely.
Just a family in their household. I guess speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. So where we help individuals are like retirees, college students, single parents that are they're looking for that side gig. Uber, Lyft, all those types of things are side gigs. They're industry disruptors. And that's what we are. We are an industry disruptor, and we give individuals an opportunity to compete in multi-billion and trillion-dollar industries without kicking out the cash. So they get to be players just like all of these larger companies do, but they don't have all the overhead and expenses. And they also don't have to be extremely knowledgeable, to be honest with you. The less you know actually can be better off for you in some cases with what we do. So for an individual, a single mom, she's struggling to, pay her rent or mortgage or utilities, or, an elderly retiree who's lost half their retirement, and now they're trying to find other ways of, supplementing their income, and they're not able to do what they used to do. College students looking, they've got a heavy workload, school load, they need extra money for tuition. These are all great avenues that you can fold into the cracks of your life, part-time and spare time, and then eventually it takes over the full-time occupation.
Interesting. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And so for the people, whether it's retirees, you mentioned students, you mentioned business owners. I mean, I want to thank probably anybody that's looking for, a flexible income, like you're saying, eventually a full-time income. This is a way to go about it. How can they get a hold of you? How can they plug in, and how can they take advantage of this opportunity?
That's a really great question. I would love for them to call me at 520-891-8210. I will set them up with a personal meeting to show them exactly what this looks like. It's important to show it instead of tell it, because there is a feeling behind it, and everybody will receive this message differently. I did too. I received it differently. So it's best not to describe too much with bias, because we would really like honest opinion from the people themselves without any kind of influence. And so typically I set that up, and it's Zoom or in person. We're really flexible. We have lots of meetings throughout the week. So yes, 520-891-8210. I'd love to talk to you more about, what I can do to help. And if potentially create some hope for those too.
Awesome. And tell the number one more time.
520-891-8210.
Awesome. Jeremy Silverman with Hope Dealers Global. Thank you so much, brother.
Hey, thanks so much, John. Appreciate
This
it.
is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain here with Mr. Andreas Ruiz with I Believe in Myself. Check it out. What's the website again?
It's IBelieveInMyself.org.
We'll remind people later, but we want to thank our sponsors as always for Tucson, Proper Villains, We Care, Tucson, White Stallion, Tucson Tools Shop, Hope Dealers Global, our favorite, Arizona Choice Home Care Solutions, Pep Inc., and Coca-Cola. Nope, not Coca-Cola. A few others, but we'll be back right after the break. And we're back. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Homeless Veteran Transition Program, Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain here with Mr. Andreas Ruiz. I'll let you introduce. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm with I Believe in Myself Leadership Coaching and Speaking, and yeah, I do speaking, coaching, author, and I'm here with Jonathan Lee McClain.
Oh, thank you, mother.
Yes.
And how can
Son.
people get a hold of you, Daddy?
Yeah, son. So yeah, it's 520-392-9179. Or you
Okay.
can check out my website at IBelieveInMyself.org.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
And as everybody's heard me say so many times, if it wasn't for this man, my life would not be what it was because he helped me believe in myself. And I didn't have any confidence issues necessarily,
Mhm.
but there was that, that little sliver you helped me fill in. You still do. So
Thanks, man.
I thank you for
Appreciate
that, brother.
Yes, sir.
And who do we have in studio today?
Yes, we have a very special guest that I've already known for a few years. I want to say that's crazy to think that time flies by so quickly. Her name is Kate Meyer. She is the prevention coordinator at PEP, which is one of our favorite organizations to have on the show.
Yeah,
Definitely,
absolutely.
they're doing a lot in the community, and they keep surprising me with all the wonderful work that they're doing for Southern Arizona, and honestly, they're all over the world. I mean, if you really think about it,
Yeah.
just Dr. Arnold, a lot of the amazing work
Just
that they're doing.
unspoken, I don't even know how to put it, like one of the unspoken leaders of our generation.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Arnold, I've been lucky to learn about him and all the work that he's done in Southern Arizona particularly, or just in general, the systems that he's created. It's just, he's certainly one of the appreciated legends of our time. So you can tell him I said that if you see him.
But welcome, Kate. Thank you for being on the show. We appreciate you being on today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I know that lately I've been hearing more and more about some of the programs that PEP is introducing to the community, but I know that lately we've been talking about kind of like this reentry program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Community Prevention Coalition at PEP has just recently taken on a new program, and it's a reentry program for folks getting out of prison and jail. And it's a mentorship program, and so we match people with community coaches who've been through a training, and there's very small limited stipends available for those folks, but they are basically volunteer coaches who want to help folks get back on their feet and get settled into the community after release.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that is something that is really needed. Just some people need some type of guidance when they get out of jail. Like, I mean, some people don't have a sense of direction.
Yeah, I mean, especially with technology gaps, like people who've been in for a while, things change so much with cell phones and computers and software that they don't know how to navigate the web like they could have, 10 years ago. It's totally different.
Yeah, I mean, and thinking of it, even outside of the reentry population, I mean, if everybody had a mentor, of this capacity, like a big brother, big sister for young adults or for adults when they're struggling to help them put together that support system, it's so amazing. So I guess speak to, this reentry program and what maybe some of the success stories, some of the kind of amazing things you've seen so far that it's been able to carry out.
So we're brand new, but we do have 10 coaches signed up already, and they're very excited
Nice.
about getting matched with participants. And we have, I think, 4 participants right now who are working on getting jobs, filling out their resumes, creating business cards, networking, trying to find employment. Our coaches vary from people who have lived experience to folks who have family members with lived experience, but everybody's been touched by incarceration in some kind of capacity that are on our list of coaches. They all are passionate and caring individuals and really want to see their participants do well.
Wow, that's awesome. And it seems like that's, what you're looking for is just people who are really there to serve and give back to the community to make the community better. And it's really awesome that you decided to, nominate people who either have the lived experience or that have had somebody in their life be incarcerated. How do you feel that will be helpful for the individuals that are coaching?
I think it's really important for the individuals they're coaching because they have a connection with that person, that they've lived a similar life and walked a similar path and know what the hardships are of trying to reintegrate.
And you're saying, it's a relatively new program, so what would you say are like the greatest needs that you guys have right now to make, it seems like a pretty good base, a little bit more robust?
Yeah, we're definitely looking for more coaches, we're looking for more participants. People don't have to be just getting out of incarceration right now. They could have been released like a year ago and they've like reached some point in their life where they just need an extra helping hand and they need resources. And so the program's really open to anyone who who's been previously incarcerated and needs that extra help.
Yeah, if we could, Andreas, particularly, especially since this is like, we have been that to each other for so long, and this is, primarily what you do day to day in a lot of ways. As a mentor, speak to the value of it, and why you see it being so useful, whether it's in your life, the people that you work with, and definitely, a nod to the work that's being done out of PEP with this reentry program.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I do. Well, mainly the people that I work with, the population I work with is like business owners and entrepreneurs, but I also have a few adolescents that I'm working with. And some of the things that I've helped these people with is things like pornography. Pornography it's crazy. Like, some people don't really think about it, but there's a lot of trouble with pornography. And also alcohol. I have a client who's been sober for over a year now with alcohol. Really proud of her. And we've definitely shared some beautiful moments. And another client of mine who's right now been sober for a couple of months. I'm super proud of her. And it's just having somebody that is been through that, but is overcome that, and then for them to see that, they say, okay, if he can do it, I can do it too. And so for me, I've dealt with drugs, alcohol. Some of my clients tell me, you know what, I didn't even know that about you. Now that I know that about you, I feel even more safe to share even more deeper stuff that I wouldn't. So, and for me personally, I mean, having a mentor, having yourself, or having just a coach has helped me out tremendously, especially in the emotional space. Being able to be okay with sharing some of my emotions, sometimes crying it out. Sometimes I like to just talk about my emotions and I cry and I feel better. And it's because I feel safe with this person and I know it's completely confidential and that everything that we talk about is going to be completely between them and I.
Yeah.
So that has been very helpful for me in that way, just to explain my personal experience and the
For
experience
sure.
of other
For sure,
clients.
and to add on to that, if these are things, if I would have known sooner, I probably would have had successes sooner, because we were talking about it yesterday, just on a phone chit chat, that there's an African proverb that says, if you want to get somewhere successfully, ask somebody who's coming back from there. And I think
Absolutely.
that definitely rings true with this reentry program that PEP's doing, is like, okay, how do we match the people that are coming back from that destination with the people that are heading toward that destination? So that's really cool. So speak to how people can connect with you guys and plug into this program.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to also piggyback off of what you both just said, and that those are the exact types of relationships we're hoping that the coaches and the participants foster and create over time. That they really create a close bond of potentially friendship at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the easiest way to reach me to either be a coach or a participant is through email. And so my email address is kmeyer, MEYER, @ppep.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and those who that are listening, if you don't have a mentor, find a mentor, and definitely if you can be part of the reentry program with PEP or PEP at all, I would highly recommend it.
Absolutely.
And this is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
joining us. Andreas, thank you so much once again for filling in, being a good co-pilot. So if I fell asleep, you could take over the plane,
Okay.
make sure we didn't
Yes.
crash. But all you listening, thank you once again. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the different social medias, and also remember, if all the sunshine in your life has gone away, it might just be nighttime.
There you go.